Well, of course, it ended 2-2 at Dean Court on Saturday. A performance that I probably saw coming, to be fair. And there's a couple of things that I do want to cover off. But do like and subscribe to this channel as well. Make us aware of anything that you want us to talk about. Really, this is the Cherries Extra channel. If you do want to send in your own videos, you're more than welcome to as well. But let's firstly talk about the game. So, we expected a reaction from Sheffield United, and that's what we got. We got exactly that. However, I think there was a couple of players that, didn't particularly do as great as we expected. Neto, I think, punching the ball out, for both the first and second goal was disappointing. It just fell straight to Halmer's legs. And then, the second goal, was a punch of the ball against Solanke, who, of course, missed that penalty a little bit earlier on. Unfortunately, these things happen. He did slip. I think otherwise, that ball would have been, going where he wanted it to. No way would Dominic Solanke have tried to sky it like that. And yeah, Neto, should have really caught the ball from the corner. This is one of the real concerns that I have over Neto, is that when you compare him to Mark Travers is a lot better when the ball's crossed into the box. Neto is probably a lot more experienced goalkeeper, but I think there's a very small amount between them, now. And I think Travers is getting better and better. Of course, his confidence was destroyed after that Liverpool thrashing, that 9-0, which was really, his last game, in succession for us, really. And what I mean by that is when he was, the number one at the club, which is a real shame because I think, he is a good goalkeeper, and, I think he will be very important. And we got back in the game. I think the Solanke, to be honest, I think the Solanke goal should have stood, but it didn't. VAR again, stupid rulings again, again. I don't know why it shouldn't have stood, but there we are. And then we, of course, we had the goal back, and then the goal right at the very end. Those two goals were taken very very well. And Enes Unal, good strike from him right at the death. The pressure was on, but he made it look like a piece of cake. So was it a fair result? I don't think Sheffield United deserved to be beaten. I think they did play very very well. Did we deserve to be beaten? I think we could have got into a bit of a better gear, and maybe we were underperforming a little bit, but hey, it's going to happen. It's a long old season, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we can put that right against Luton in midweek. But one thing that the fans need to put right is the abuse of the players, the abuse of billing. Adam Smith come out and said about it. Our fan base now, back in 2008, everybody was united together to try and get the club motoring up the league. We had been set a bad hand, put nicely. And, at that point, we didn't even know that we was going to have a club after that summer. So the thing is everybody pulled together. There seems to be none of that anymore. And that's really sad. Neto's had it. Neto's had loads of hate. And now Kirkes has put a picture up of him playing against Chelsea. Now he's stood and he's marking Raheem Sterling. Now a lot of people reading into that Kirkes wants to go to Chelsea. I read into that, and I'm going to do a whole video on this. I'm reading into that as complete and utter bullshit. And why I'm reading into that as complete and utter bullshit is Kirkes, could be very, very proud of that game. He's defending against a player who was ever present for England until, a couple of years back. So I just don't get our fan base. I think there's something seriously adrift at the moment that, we're going, oh, well, Kirkes has put that out. And he's got slammed from people that say they were there back in 2008. I just don't understand it. Don't understand it at all. Billing's been abused. Lloyd Kelly's been abused. Who can blame one of these players if, say, for example, a team, let's take Jefferson Lerma, for example. I know he wasn't abused, but say, for example, a side like Crystal Palace come along. Now, Crystal Palace, I would say, are probably fishing in the same pool as ourselves at this moment in time. They're a bigger club, by all means, but they're still fishing in that same pool. And there we are. We're abusing our own players. Now, if Crystal Palace comes in and it's like, oh, we could, get you away from all of that, what's that player going to do? He's going to go, well, actually, that sounds quite a nice thing to do. I think I might go to Crystal Palace. And this is what I don't understand. I really just don't understand with our fan base. It's very, very, very disappointing. And, don't get me wrong, I was disappointed not to get 3 points. I was disappointed, that, our performance against Burnley, I can give constructive criticism saying, well, we weren't particularly very good. That player wasn't particularly good. But I'm not going to start slandering them and telling them to, F off to, Chelsea. We are probably going to be a club which is a bit of a stepping stone for players. We are. That's the fact of the matter. We're probably going to be a stepping stone, but at the end of the day, abusing our own players, we can be the 12th man in that ground. And I just don't understand it. Don't understand it. But then again, some of our fan base have got enough time of abusing our own fans. So, I just don't understand where we're coming from at the moment. And it's quite sad. It's really, really sad. Like on Friday, I had, a whole barrage of, that IQ has said that somebody was something that I never said that they were some of, and I'm not even going to repeat the name. I'm not going to frame that person. I'm not going to say, what they said that I insinuated or called them, because I never did. I don't believe they're that. But at the same time, what I was saying and the point I was making is you don't do what was done, in that situation. I'm not going back over that. But, that is, a fact. That is a fact. You don't do what was done in that situation because it's just wrong. It's just morally wrong. But yeah, let us know what you think of this video. Let us know what you think about the performance against Sheffield United. And I will do a bigger video about this. But yeah, until the next one, up the cherries. We'll see you soon. Thanks for joining us.